Hello, I'm AD Ramsey of Davita Handcraft Soap, and today we're going to make some donuts, some cookies, and some chocolate spoons. And this is going to be for my dessert series. I think I've already told you guys when I made my cupcakes that I'm going to have a series at the market. It's going to be all dessert shaped soaps. So everything is going to have a dessert theme, the bags that they're going to be served in, the tablescape, the whole thing. I'm even going to break out a chef coat. That's if it's not 300 degrees by then. So, because it's supposed to warm up this weekend. And I am truly officially a Nevadian because here it is, maybe 75 degrees, and I am freezing. It's pretty sad. So we have all our usual suspects. The oil is very green because I'm using my infused herb oil. I'm also using for my sodium hydroxide some yogurt that my cousin didn't eat as per usual. I'm going to be using some coffee scented fragrance. I'm going to put some coffee grounds inside. In fact, I'll do that right now. So clearly these are some coffee grounds from earlier. Just gonna put just a little bit to carry over the coffee flavor. The top portion will have a different scent probably, but I want to make sure that this has a nice color to it. The sodium hydroxide and yogurt, it is so thick so I don't even know if any of this is gonna work. They're tempered about the same, but it's already turned into soap with the fat mixed in with the sodium hydroxide. So who knows if this will work or not, but we're going to give it a try anyhow. I'm going to go ahead and add the fragrance. This always makes me so nervous, putting the fragrance in before the sodium hydroxide. Yipes. I really like this coffee scent because usually I don't like the coffee fragrances because they smell so synthetic to me. But this one is actually pretty good. It's by, well, I bought it from Be Scented, and I believe Be Scented carries the Crafter's Choice. Is it Crafter's Choice, or am I thinking of macaroni and cheese? Set that over here. We're gonna spoon in the sodium hydroxide. It's so uber thick. It's ridiculous. It's like I don't know. The consistency of cream. So today, since this is very straightforward, I figured I would tell you guys a story that I thought about because I had to renew my car tags. So in Michigan, you don't have to think about when your car tags are renewed because it's your birthday. When your birthday hits, you know that you need your tags, your auto tags. Here in the States, we have to register our car. Here in Nevada, it's set up a little differently. Whenever you first register your car, that becomes your registered day. But in Michigan, it's much easier. It's your birthday. And they usually give you 30 days. You're not supposed to, clearly. You're supposed to go ahead and get your car registered by your birthday. But people usually go, I'll get to it before the end of the month. Well, this particular year, I can't remember how old I was, but I worked at William Beaumont Hospital, which was down a very, like a major street that spanned over many cities and counties. In my car, I'm driving. It's my birthday. My tags aren't done. And I get pulled over by the police, by the Oakland County Police. Probably Bloomfield or somebody. The police officer gets out of his car, very handsome, very, fit. I don't know what in the heck I was thinking. I thought he was a stripper. I thought my co-workers, they knew I took that route, and they had hired some stripper to pretend like he was pulling me over. And when he was approaching the car, I was so excited, like, oh my gosh, a stripper on my birthday. I never had that happen before. So I reached over and I turned the radio up, not obnoxiously, but because I usually don't ride with the radio on. So I turned up the radio and he was kind of like, ma'am, can I have your license and registration? And I'm thinking, yeah, this dude is really into it. And he was looking at me like, ma'am, can I have your license and registration? And that's when I realized this dude was dead serious and he wasn't a stripper at all. I was so embarrassed. So now I'm embarrassed. I'm all flustered. And he could see I was super nervous. I'm sure he thought I was drunk or something. But I had on my work uniform and he was like, he said, your tags are expired. And I was like, yeah, it's my birthday. And he says, okay. It's the 17th. Your birthday was the 16th. And I'm thinking, how you know all that? Because they ran my plates before they pulled me over, duh. So I was like, oh, okay. I was expecting him to say, oh, well, happy birthday. Da, 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 da. Oh. And he didn't, of course. He gave me back my information. He said, all right, and so now what are you about to do when you get off of work? I said, oh, I'll probably spend some time with my family. We're going to have a birthday celebration. He was like, oh my God. No, ma'am. You're going to go get your tags. I was like, oh, yeah. Right. I'm going to do that. That was the dingiest moment I have ever had. I have never acted so dingy in my life. I was thrown off. That man was very handsome. He had on his uniform. I guess I watch way too much television, clearly. So, I should have used this recipe for our last collaboration, which I completely did wrong, by the way. Boy, you talk about not following instructions. But I'm going to give it another try. So that was my birthday story of thinking the guy who's on his job, minding his business, that I just thought he was a stripper. In Michigan, we have different types of strippers. Unlike here in Las Vegas, the guy strippers, they're pretty whack. That means not good at all. I haven't been to a show, of course, in years. I say, of course, right? But I haven't. But the first time we went to let me go back a little further. My cousins, I have like 1,000 cousins. I have a huge, huge family. Not my immediate family, but I have so many cousins. It's ridiculous. My father is the fifth child of 8 children. And he was the only one that didn't have a bunch of children himself. So I have a lot of cousins, and with that comes a lot of opportunities to get yourself in trouble and out of trouble. When I was a teenager, we went to Detroit to see some male dancers. And these men, of course, they weren't totally new, but they might as well have been. And we just had us the best time. They were so nice. And those women were so inappropriate. They were grabbing on these guys and shoving dollars in their G-strings. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I think I was maybe 16 when this occurred, in 10th grade. So I had a speech class. I decided, don't ask me why, that I would do my speech on male dancers. Now, mind you, Michigan is a very conservative spot, okay? Even the people who are quote unquote not very religious are very what do you say, conservative. I told my friends, yeah, I'm gonna do this speech on male dancers. And I went to Detroit by myself, mind you, to this particular nightclub. How stupid. And I was doing like a little interview with the guys, a couple of the guys. I asked them, you know, where they lived and blah, 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 and all this. And they could see I can't say they could see I was a kid. That's not true at all. I've been this height that I am right now, which I'm 5'4". I've been this height since 4th grade, so they couldn't tell I was a child. That's not true. But I guess maybe the questions I was asking, they could tell. I was like, yeah, I'm doing a speech at school, and they were like, oh yeah, okay. They gave me a lot of information. They gave me a couple of flyers and how they were booked through that club, and the owner gave me some literature on, you know, the flyers that they would pass out to let people know where this particular group was going to be. Like I said, they were really nice. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so true. God looks over children and fools. So I got a double portion, I guess. Comes the day for my speech. And this is before your teacher would approve what you were going to talk about. They didn't care. I mean, you were just a kid. What could you really talk about at that time? When I got to telling my speech and I turned the lights off, and I had my uncle's movie projector. And so I was able to show some slides, and you can imagine our teacher's face when she saw these half-naked men. And of course everybody was, oh. My friends, they knew what was going on. They skipped class just so that they could see if I was going to go through with it. I said, what are they going to do? kick me out of school for doing an assignment. And I didn't get kicked out. The teacher was like, okay, you know, whatever. She called my parents, clearly. They had a talk. And my mother was beside herself. Whereas my father was he was more laid back. Not that laid back, but he asked some questions and everything. But it was the early 80s, late 70s, so it was a different time. It wasn't a big deal to see a teenager in a bar, especially a local bar. And this was a local, well, it was in Detroit, but it was still considered a local bar. So that was my little experience, my first experience with the world of male dancers. So it brings me back to the beginning of the story. I thought homeboy was a dancer and not just somebody trying to feed their family doing their job, a very dangerous job at that, being a police officer. Okay, now that we have everything poured in here, I will bring you back and we will make another batch of soap so that we can have a filling inside and put the donuts together. Maybe. I don't know exactly what we're going to do. Definitely we have to do that for the cookies. Okay. So we're back to fill our little donuts. It's the next day. And we have the same type of mixture that's going to go in the filling. Let's see what's happening. I know they look a little crazy. We're going to clean them up and hopefully they'll look like something. This is the end of my video. Thank you so much for stopping by and listening to my stories. Have a great day.